The Waters of the Orinoco and Nocturnal Voices or Nocturnal Wildlife. It takes us up the river, and the first is an essay about flow and water and atmosphere and light. And the second is about sound and voices, and the voices of the animals and the voices of nature, including a call for the renewal of human language through attentiveness to the impress of nature. This is a book of nature essays on steppes and deserts, cataracts, volcanoes, plants, drawn from his favorite moments in the Americas, brimming with hope and beauty and the aspirations of science. It was published in 1808. It became an instant classic, translated into a half a dozen languages. In 1826, it was reissued. He added 2 more essays. It was reissued again. And finally, 1849, it was issued in a 3rd edition in German. All these are the German editions I'm referring to, because the German edition was the source for the first English translation, which I'm putting up the title page for you here, Aspects of Nature, London, 1849. This is the Philadelphia reprint that I have, translated by Elizabeth Sabine. So we have this moment, this cultural moment in 1849, when not only was this book being issued in English translation, but also Cosmos, the first 2 volumes. So suddenly, 1849, 1850, there's a flood of translations of Humboldt available in English, the cutting edge of Humboldt and Humboldtian science. Some of you may be wondering, what is the Humboldtian Cosmos then? So he has quite a lot of discussion of this in the opening of the first volume, and so I'm reducing several pages into 4 brief lines on top. Cosmos, he deliberately resurrected the ancient Greek word, referring to the assemblage of all things in heaven and earth. This is, by the way, a 19th century translation. We are still awaiting a modern translation of Cosmos, I hope soon. Or universe, order of the world, and adornment of this universal order. So what I have, and the italics are my interpretive work on this, the physical universe is distinct from but conjoined with the mind insofar as mind composes or assembles the pluriverse into this universe that is one beauty, ornament, and order, that is art and science. In other words, there will always be, in Humboldt's thinking, a physical universe apart from our minds, apart from us. It evolves on cosmic and geological timescales, but the cosmos, in Humboldt's thinking, is composed on historical timescales in the reciprocal interaction of mind and materiality. So in this day of environmental stresses and global warming, what's at threat is not the physical cosmos, is not the physical universe, excuse me, but the cosmos, this grand historical drama that's been playing out over millennia, that is this reciprocal interaction of mind with nature. The order of these essays, and I don't want to belabor this in the interest of time, but I'll try to go through this very swiftly. In working on this edition, sensed a kind of pattern to them, and finally, as I laid them all out, it came to me that it looks something like this. The first, Steppes and Deserts, Humboldt takes us inland from the ocean to consider the Great Plains, or Llanos of Venezuela, where it's all planetary surface. There is no water, there are no elevations, no hills, it's flat, there's very little life. Barrenness, desert, hard planetary matter asserts itself here as the limiting condition for life on Earth, and thus for the origins and fate of human civilizations, which he details. In the concluding essay, he takes us back out from the interior to now the Pacific Ocean, providing a kind of narrative and thematic closure, lingering on the way in the Inca village of Cajamarca to record his poignant conversation with the young son of Ostropilco, descendant of Inca monarchs. So the center of the book, the ideas for a physiognomy of plants, surveys the entirety of this planetary organism, an important keystone theoretical essay. It becomes a kind of grand global tapestry of visual forms grouped into landscape economies as indexed by plant types. Here is one of the origin of plant ecology, perhaps of ecological thinking more generally. So in between we've got two pairs of diptychs. The first pair, The Waters of the Orinoco and Nocturnal Voices or Nocturnal Wildlife, it takes us up the river. And the first is an essay about flow and water and atmosphere and light. And the second is about sound and voices, and the voices of the animals and the voices of nature, including a call for the renewal of human language through attentiveness to the impress of nature on our minds, on our thinking, on our language. The second pair of essays, the second diptych, go from surface to depth to explore deep dynamic causes, first of planetary forces in the volcano essay, where a wonderful phrase, he calls volcanoes intermediary earth springs. And volcanoes are how the depths of the earth communicate to us on the surface. So, speaking to us of the deep dynamic forces that govern the very structure of the planet. Yet for Humboldt, every picture must reveal the act of its own composition. So some of these annotations grow into entire finished essays on their own account. Disquisitions on the cross-cultural practice of eating earth, on Amazonian petroglyphs, on indigenous peoples who build their houses in trees, on the use of camels as domestic animals, on currents and vegetations and phosphorescence of seawater, and on it goes.